Naruto circled Haku, Jiraiya watching from a short distance away. Up to now, the sage had only been told of the boy's talents, but had never seen them up close. He was looking forward to watching this spar. Wind style, soul speed. Ice style, shower of hail. Naruto weaved through the falling projectiles, delivering a wind-powered kick to Haku's arm thanks to air current dance. He backed off, releasing a fireball. Haku planted her hands on the ground, a wall forming. Naruto did more hand signs, an orb of electricity flying towards the wall. It had little effect. Naruto grunted, reminding himself to learn more lightning jutsu. Ice style, icicle barrage. Naruto forced a pink-red fire to form between his palms, the flying ice turning to vapor as they came close. Naruto then released the attack he branded Scorch style, water killer. It collided with the ice wall, creating a perfect hole through the center. Haku went on the defensive as Naruto threw a series of kicks and punches. Their taijutsu was easily one of the fastest Jiraiya had seen from Genin. Naruto relied on speed over strength, the opposite of Sasuke, according to Kakashi. Fire style, Flying Phoenix. Jiraiya's eyes widened as Naruto backed off, jets of fire forming beneath his feet and palms. No hand signs were formed, nor was the technique one he was aware of. The sage had to assume this was yet again another original jutsu of Naruto's. The blonde found himself multiple feet above the ground, the flames propelling him. His aim with this jutsu was to give him the power of momentary flight. Of course, he was a long way from reaching that goal. For the moment, it was merely a stronger version of Soul Speed that used Fire Chakra instead of Wind Chakra. But the newfound height advantage allowed Naruto to perform a series of hand signs. Water style, Water Dragon Jutsu. Haku blinked, sending out a single spear of ice that traveled right through the dragon. Naruto barely managed to form a spear of his own in time to defend himself. He copied Haku's icicle barrage, the Yuki easily defending herself from the projectiles. Naruto landed, launching more ninjutsu while he sent out a handful of shadow clones to engage in taijutsu. Jiraiya continued to watch, his smile growing by the second. It took a full 3 hours before both Naruto and Haku were out of energy. Excellent, you two. Just as I expected from the students of Zabuza and Kakashi. But now, it's time to get serious, the Sannin said, frowning. Naruto, I need you to call upon the fox. Naruto paled. And how exactly do I do that? You must focus on your inner thoughts, your mind. You need to dive in and find the fox within it. The Nine-Tails chakra may exist within the 8 trigram seal, but the fox's conscience exists within your own. Naruto sighed, forcing himself into a meditating pose. Jiraiya's instructions were easy enough, and since he regularly meditated, he doubted it would be too difficult. Haku and Jiraiya watched him in silence as Naruto slowly slipped out of the real world. When meditating, the blonde often imagined his forest haven. This time, he focused on the image of the large cage holding the fox. After a few minutes, he found himself before the place of his nightmares. This time, the fox was waiting for him, black slits staring into his round pupils. So, you're finally asking for my chakra, boy? The fox rumbled. Naruto frowned, feeling sweat drip down his face. I don't have much choice. I need to be able to control you. The fox let out a laugh. You think your puny mind and body will be able to control my power? The only reason I haven't killed you is because it would be disadvantageous. Why do you say that? Naruto asked, confused. Like I tell you, just take my chakra and get out. Naruto cursed under his breath. You're the one living inside me. Naruto's hair stood on end as a stream of orange chakra floated toward him. It seemed much calmer compared to the time in the Land of Waves. Perhaps it was because he wanted the chakra to coat him, but as he slowly reached out for the chakra, he instantly regretted it. His body convulsed, making his eyes snap open, his vision blurry as he shakily rose to his feet. Haku and Jiraiya backed off as the sickly orange aura radiated off Naruto's body. Through the haze, they could see the boy's body undergo a bizarre change. His pupils dilated, becoming slits. Their ocean blue was replaced with blood red. His blonde hair spiked up even further than normal. The set of whiskers that adorned his cheeks grew and darkened. His teeth became razor sharp, as did his nails. Somehow, despite the low growls he was making, Naruto appeared to be in control, mostly. He stared at Jiraiya, who kept a straight face. Naruto, take a kunai and focus that chakra into it. Do so until you're able to control your output. What if he runs out? Haku asked. Jiraiya shook his head. The Nine-Tails possesses levels of chakra that no human can ever reach. Even the strongest of the Uzumaki clan could only have chakra levels close to that of the One-Tails. Of course, being a Jinchuriki forces your chakra to increase, which is why Naruto has the same amount as a pure Uzumaki. But that orange chakra he's using isn't even a fraction of the fox's full reserves, and yet, it's easily a tenth of Naruto's reserves. The point is, it will take a long time for him to run out of it. As he spoke, Naruto was trying to evenly channel the orange chakra through the kunai. But whenever he did, it became a jagged blade of energy. Naruto also felt his body tense, his rage filling him. It was the fox's rage, fueled by his own minor frustrations. It took several attempts before he was able to channel his chakra successfully. Good work, kid. Now, try using the fireball jutsu, Jiraiya instructed. Naruto growled in response. He brought his hands together, forming the hand signs necessary. But when he opened his mouth to release the flames, he found himself being thrown back by the ferocity of the pure orange fire. Naruto slammed his fist on the ground, a web of cracks forming and dust rising. He sat up, doing his best to control his rage. He slowly did the hand signs again, digging his feet into the earth. This time the flames didn't push him back. I want to see your soul speed jutsu, Jiraiya requested. He did as he was told, a blast of wind sending Naruto hurtling into the sky. His crimson eyes stared at the ground below, Jiraiya and Haku only small dots on the surface. At this height, Naruto realized if he landed, it would leave behind a red stain on the dirt. And so he channeled fire into his palms, steadily decreasing his speed. He still landed with a loud thud, feeling his body vibrate. Excellent, Jiraiya praised. The Nine-Tails chakra increases the strength in your attacks. But now, I want to test something out. Jiraiya unraveled the scroll he carried on his back, revealing a handful of fingerprints and writing. This is a summoning contract. It belonged to the creatures I personally summon, the Toads of Mount Miyoboku. The fourth Hokage was the last person to sign a contract with them, besides myself. And now I want you to sign it. Naruto walked forward, the orange chakra around him pulsing. But when he came close to Haku, he noticed her wince in pain, as if the chakra was lashing out on its own. He backed away, glaring at the signing. Why are you picking me for this when it's so important? I know how rare summons are, especially the Toads, Naruto asked in a deepened voice. You want to become Hokage, right? Naruto paused. When he became a genin, that's what he'd told Kakashi, but even then he was unsure. That hesitance was still present. Now, he was more focused on helping Haku, Gaara, and Karin. It's best I aim to become Hokage, Naruto told himself. Or at least as strong as the Hokage. I can decide to take that role later. Fine then, the blonde growled. What do I need to do? Jiraiya pointed to the fingerprints on the scroll. In order to create a contract, you first need to put your fingerprints on the scroll, using your own blood. After that, you'll be able to summon your personal toad partner. They're your primary summon and will grow in strength alongside you. My hope is that the Nine-Tails chakra will allow you to summon a strong partner, as most starting partners aren't combatants at the time of their first summoning. Who knows? You might be able to summon the Toad Boss, but I doubt that, Jiraiya explained, chuckling at the end. Naruto nodded, bringing his thumb to his mouth, biting down to draw blood. But the moment blood began to spill, the wound instantly sealed, steam rising from it. Naruto growled, realizing the orange chakra was increasing his body's regenerative abilities to an insane degree. He bit down harder, but the wound continued to seal, his anger rising all the while. In the back of his mind, he wondered why the fox's chakra was healing him so fast. Didn't the fox want to escape? If so, Wasn't healing him counterproductive? He didn't think about it for long. At this point, he drew a kunai, stabbing himself in the leg. There was no fear, no pain as he did, much to Jiraiya's and Haku's shock. He had enough time to stain his fingers with his blood before his leg healed in a matter of seconds. He pressed his fingerprints onto the scroll beside Jiraiya's and the 4th Hokage's. "Show me the hand signs," Naruto requested, discarding the blood-drenched kunai. Jiraiya conceded, biting his thumb, drawing blood and wiping it across his palm. He then showed Naruto the signs before he slammed his palm on the ground, a circular seal array forming along the dirt. In a puff of smoke, a toad slightly shorter than the Sannin appeared, startling Naruto and Haku. Many of the toads have different purposes. This is one of the special toads. Some are regular combatants. Others can be capture masters, seal users, and so on. Give it a shot. Naruto nodded, drawing blood and slowly weaving the hand signs needed. He slammed his hand on the ground, producing a spiderweb of cracks instead of a summoning circle. He gritted his teeth, repeating the hand signs and gently placing his palm on the ground. This time the array sprang forth, as did the orange chakra. The Nine-Tails power burst out of Naruto, increasing in height until it was easily visible from anywhere in the hidden leaf. It expanded until it spilled out of the clearing they'd been training in. Jiraiya grabbed Haku, the two vanishing in a body flicker as Naruto was engulfed by smoke. The two reappeared near the edge of the forest, craning their necks to stare at the entity within the dissipating smoke. "Are you kidding me? He summoned the boss on the first try?" Jiraiya blurted out, dumbfounded. Haku could only stare with awe. Before them was a giant. Naruto barely a speck atop its head. He was red, along with a scar running along one of its yellow eyes. He wore a blue happy vest, a tanto sword on his back, and a pipe in his mouth. The toad grumbled. "What the hell? I know for certain that idiot Jiraiya didn't summon me." Naruto groaned. "I summoned you," he shouted atop the toad. "A kid? Are you serious? Where's that stupid Sannin?" "Down here, Lord Gamabunta," Jiraiya yelled, catching his attention. "My newest student summoned you. You mean this blonde who dares to stand on top of me? Hey, I've got a name, you know. It's Naruto Uzumaki." Gamabunta's eyes lit up. "An Uzumaki, eh? And a blonde one, no less. And is that the Nine-Tails chakra covering you? That changes things." "What do you mean by that?" Naruto asked. "It means you're gonna have to work extra hard in order to earn the honor of summoning me." Gamabunta reared back, his powerful legs sending himself and Naruto hurtling into the air. Naruto barely managed to channel the fox's power into his legs, keeping a hold on the boss toad. "If you manage to stay on my back the rest of the day, I'll consider you worthy. I'm sure it won't be too difficult for the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki." Naruto yelped as Gamabunta bounced around the forest, even traveling outside the Hidden Leaf's walls. Jiraiya watched, dumbfounded, Haku just as confused. "Should we do something?" the Yuki asked. Jiraiya shook his head. "Gamabunta won't stop for me. He'll push Naruto to his limits, whether the blonde wants to or not." By the time the sun was setting, Gamabunta was growing tired, as was Naruto. The fox's chakra had depleted a few hours ago, leaving him with his own barely recovered reserves. "You've done well to survive this long, kid," the toad boss praised, "but I'm not letting you off the hook that easily." Gamabunta summoned all of his strength, launching himself a few feet short of the clouds above. At his apex, he began spinning wildly, attempting to throw Naruto off as the boy jerked around the toad's back. As the toad landed with a resounding bang, Naruto felt his chakra give out, falling from Gamabunta's back. The blonde was forced to summon all of his remaining energy and push it into his feet. His weakened soul speed was just enough to let him grab the toad's happy vest. But his strength had diminished, making him unable to hold on for more than a few seconds. His fingers slipped, the barely conscious Naruto falling to the ground. Haku caught him mid-air, landing beside Jiraiya. "That kid was good. You chose a good student, Sannin," Gamabunta stated. "Tell me, is Naruto his son?" Jiraiya merely nodded. "Then tell him I'll always be available to him. Anything for Lord Fourth." He mastered Senjutsu before even you. Jiraiya chuckled. I know, I'll tell him. Thanks, Gamabunta. The Toad Boss vanished in smoke. Jiraiya turning to Haku, who was cradling the sleeping Naruto in her arms. The sage couldn't help but smile, seeing the faint shine in the Yuki's eyes. In this moment, she was different. Jiraiya was well aware of her commitment to Zabuza and his orders to look after Naruto, and Naruto her. But this was more than that. You've grown to be rather fond of him, haven't you? Haku didn't answer. She merely continued to stare at Naruto, warmth filling her body as she did. She didn't try to explain her emotions, nor could she at this point. This was more than the respect and devotion she had for Zabuza. That was all she knew. Whether it was that emotion, she refused to think about it. You should take him to rest. We'll resume training tomorrow, Jiraiya said. I've got some other things to attend to. Jiraiya disappeared in a body flicker, leaving Haku, who lifted Naruto off the ground, bringing him to their forest haven. As she laid him down to rest, she heard voices in the trees. Instinctively, she drew a senbon, ready to attack. But, upon hearing the voices clearly, she relaxed. Out from the bush came Sasuke, who was being nagged by Kiba. Hinata was behind them, Shikamaru lazily walking at her side. What are all of you doing here? Haku asked, rising to meet their stares. We all saw that giant toad, and the orange chakra preceding it, Shikamaru muttered between yawns. Everyone else was worried when we realized you and Naruto were training in that area. Kiba insisted we check on you, dragging me with him. Don't act like you're not worried, Nara, Kiba retorted, Akamaru barking in agreement. Naruto can take care of himself, and Haku is tuning level, Shikamaru replied. Anyways, that's why me, Hinata, and Kiba are here. As for Sasuke, who knows? Haku turned to the Hyuga. I see you're faring well, Hinata. I assume your injuries have healed. Hinata smiled. Mostly, though I still have a pain in my chest, but I should be fine soon. Haku blinked. There's no need to worry about Naruto. He is merely exhausted. Lord Jiraiya's training was intensive for him. Kiba knelt beside the blonde, Akamaru patting him with his paws. Yeah, he looks pretty beat. Sasuke scoffed. Then coming here was pointless. Why'd you even come here in the first place? Kiba asked. It doesn't matter. Haku stepped forward. If you wish, you can all stay until he wakes. It shouldn't be too long, considering his heritage. What's that supposed to mean? Kiba grunted. Haku frowned. I suppose he hasn't had the time to inform you. After the tuning exams, Naruto stumbled across a girl with the same last name as his. Apparently, he and the girl, Karin, are part of a now extinct clan. The Uzumaki have incredible life force, even if they're only half Uzumaki. You're telling me Naruto's part of a clan? Kiba shouted in confusion. And you're telling me you didn't know? Shikamaru huffed. The Uzumaki massacre is in all the history books. I don't read that much, okay? Kiba replied. I knew about the Uzumaki clan, but it never occurred to me Naruto was part of it, Hinata admitted. I suppose it's understandable, Haku admitted. Uzumaki are apparently known for their pure red hair. Everyone turned abruptly when Sasuke grabbed the unconscious Naruto by the collar, lifting him off the ground, Sharingan spinning. What the hell are you doing? Kiba asked. I came here to fight him, and now I find out he's been lying to me all this time? I thought he was a nobody, a loser who had to work hard for his skill, and you're telling me he's part of a powerful clan? How does that change anything? Haku asked, ice in her breath, seeing the way Naruto was being handled. I accepted him as a rival for my own accord. If he continued to get stronger, then I knew I was still capable of the same. But now he's the same as me, a member of a clan. That undermines the reason I respected him. He's trained just as hard, if not more than you, Kiba retorted. Additionally, besides his large chakra reserves and life force, he He's no different than someone without a clan. Uzumaki were seal masters, which I know Naruto is not, Shikamaru added. Besides, being part of a clan doesn't automatically make you stronger. Take me for example. I've got one of the lowest chakra pools in the Hidden Leaf. The only reason people consider me strong is my intellect and my shadow possession. If that wasn't a secret technique and everyone knew how to use it, I'd be irrelevant. Naruto is no different. He's got a minor advantage that would make anyone stronger if they had it. Shikamaru let out a sigh. I suppose I shouldn't mention Naruto's affinity for all 5 elements, or the fact he can combine them into new elements. Damn it. Why did I have to learn the truth? So troublesome. Haku felt similar. Both she and Sakura knew the full truth, and from what Naruto had told her, Shikamaru figured it out too. But she wasn't sure if Sasuke should know, considering Naruto viewed him as a trusted comrade, bordering to close friend. But the state the Uchiha was in now made her realize right now would be the worst time. If he ever found out, it would likely send him into a deeper rage. Just put him down, Sasuke, Haku demanded. You gain nothing by letting your emotions controlling you. You and Naruto can settle your dispute once he's awake. Sasuke seethed, dropping Naruto with a silent thud. Haku felt her own anger forming, Sasuke's two-tomoed Sharingan staring her down. If I can't fight him, I'll settle for you. You're stronger than him anyway. I won't fight. Not here anyway. This is my and Naruto's home. I'm not about to have you burn it down with your fire style, Haku answered, fists clenched. Sasuke smirked. Fire isn't the only style I have in my arsenal anymore. Sasuke flashed through hand signs, Haku glancing to Kiba and the others. They didn't need words to understand. They jumped into the trees, Haku summoning a shield of ice to block Sasuke's Thunderbolt jutsu. Hinata propped Naruto against the tree as they watched Sasuke unleash Thunderbolt after Thunderbolt. It was a low-level technique, so it took a lot of them before her shield was shattered. Lightning style, Lightning Dragon Jutsu, Ice style, Ice Mirror. A flat sheet of clear ice appeared, the lightning dragon bouncing off it harmlessly. Haku made it turn into dozens of ice shards, the shards flying towards Sasuke. Sasuke threw an explosive kunai, blowing them all away. Haku was behind him in an instant, bringing a kunai to his throat. You still have a ways to go before you're able to defeat me, Haku stated. Sasuke smirked. Don't take me for a weakling. Sasuke burst into smoke, 3 more clones falling from the trees. Haku merely slammed her hands on the ground, pillars of ice stabbing through the clones. They burst into electricity, which flew down the ice in the form of lightning needles. Haku's eyes widened. She jumped into a nearby tree, Sasuke waiting for her. She caught his fist, expertly throwing him off the tree. He landed, a smirk still on his face. Haku's eyes narrowed as Sasuke's Sharingan glowed. She realized he'd cast a genjutsu. The Uchiha wasn't well versed in them as far as she knew, but his eyes had an affinity for them despite his lack of training with illusions. She released chakra from her body in order to break the genjutsu, but the damage had already been done. Her ears were filled with a loud chirping noise, almost like birds. She focused her senses, hearing the sound of electricity beneath the chirping. Lightning style! Chidori! A mass of white lightning coated Sasuke's hand, the blades of lightning crawling up his arm. It was unstable, that was clear, due to the inconsistent amount of lightning that he was producing. This was clearly a powerful jutsu, one Sasuke had yet to master. She recognized the chirping from the battle between Kakashi and Zabuza on the bridge. The one Sasuke appeared to be using was a weaker version. The Chidori had to be weaker than Kakashi's lightning blade. Haku watched with worries. The curse mark on Sasuke's neck was glowing. Clearly, Kakashi had used the wrong type of seal on Sasuke. All it did was suppress the curse mark so long as Sasuke wished it to remain dormant. The Uchiha wanted its power. She had little choice as a faint purple aura formed around Sasuke. She knew the curse mark would make Sasuke's attack stronger than what her ice could handle. With no other options, she allowed her own curse mark to activate. Black lines crawled up her face, a pale blue aura coating her. Sasuke gained a sadistic grin, jumping forward without hesitation as Haku ran through hand signs. Ice and lightning came inches from one another, empowered by the curse mark. But before they could collide, a wall made of sand became the two in the blink of an eye. Sasuke's lightning exploded, throwing him against a tree as Haku's eyes managed to pierce the wall, but it was quickly consumed by the sand as it retreated back to its user. Everyone turned to see a familiar face, the boy who had defeated Lee in the Chunin exams. "What are you doing here?" Kiba snarled, as he, Shikamaru, and Hinata jumped down, laying Naruto back on his bed. "I came for the same reason as you, the orange chakra he used," Gaara replied in his husky voice. "Why is the Shinobi interested in Naruto?" Hinata asked, instinctually reaching for a kunai. "He and I are the same. We share the same burden, the same hate. He said that he was going to help me." Hinata glanced at the boy's dark red hair. Are you in Uzumaki?" Gaara shook his head. "We are not related by blood. The only connection we have is the beast inside us." Shikamaru stifled a gasp, catching Sasuke, Hinata, and Kiba off guard. "Are you serious?" Shikamaru asked hesitantly. Gaara blinked. "So, only the Yuki and the Nara know. Don't worry, I have no intention of harming any of you. I simply wish to speak with him." Shikamaru reined in his fear. "Sorry if it's hard to trust you. You and Naruto might have the same burden, but clearly he's more stable." Gaara blinked in response. His words were understandable. He was used to this kind of treatment. Much worse treatment, in fact. The one-toed Jinchuriki sat down slowly, placing his sand gourd at his side. "I shall remain until he is conscious. Block me out if you wish. I will not intrude on your business." Sasuke glared at the Sand Shinobi. "You're the one I'm going to fight in the final exam." He then looked at his fist. "I guess I'll need to perfect the Chidori before I can break your sand." He looked back to Naruto. "I'll deal with business with him later." Sasuke turned his cold gaze to Haku one last time before he pushed past the other genin on his way out of the forest. Haku forced her curse mark to recede. It was a painful process. She could hear a disembodied voice whispering to her, coercing her to keep the mark active. But as she watched Sasuke's mark fade away, it seemed he could do it with ease. He must have welcomed the curse mark already, despite Kakashi-sensei's orders. No wonder he's agitated. Orochimaru's influence truly is acting via the mark. However, the Uchiha seems capable of ignoring it. From what Naruto has told me, Sasuke has the goal of killing someone, likely the one who murdered his clan. Nothing will stop him from reaching that goal, so the former Sannin's voice won't affect him much. For now, at least. She turned to Kiba, Hinata, and Shikamaru. "I'm sure Naruto appreciates your concern, and I'm sure he'll explain that orange chakra you saw once he's ready. I take it some big secret. Something about being in Uzumaki, right?" Kiba grunted. "Not exactly. Regardless, I think it would be best to talk with him later." "Sounds good to me," Shikamaru muttered, beckoning the others to follow. Kiba sighed, following Akamaru. Hinata stared at Naruto, clutching her chest as a wave of pain came over her. After a fit of coughs, she was helped away by Shikamaru. Haku felt relief as they disappeared. Now, the only person she had to worry about was Gaara. "So, you're the one-tailed Jinchuriki, and son of the Kazekage." Gaara closed his eyes. "I am. Naruto has told me he wishes to become your friend, but you have yet to accept his request. I doubt he would allow me to refuse. He is an odd person. However, before I allow him to help me, he needs to prove himself." "In what way?" Gaara stared directly at Haku. "He needs to prove that his way is the best way. If caring for others truly grants such strength and resolve, then I shall heed his advice." Haku nodded slowly, sitting down beside the sleeping Naruto. "Tell me, Haku Yuki, do you believe that love strengthens someone?" Haku paused. "I do not know if love is the right word in my case. specifically regarding Lord Zabuza, but I do know that I become stronger because I wanted to protect him, and I suppose the same applies with Naruto. Although, admittedly, I've spent most of my time with him trying to understand the emotions he's forced to surface. But as time has gone by, I do think Lord Zabuza made the right decision for me. Gaara nodded. I see. Haku kept one eye on the One Tail's Jinchuriki, the other on Naruto. Her mind spun, unsure whether her words to Gaara were helpful. All she and Gaara could do was wait. Wait for Naruto to affirm her feelings and change the course of his life. And although neither would admit it, both desperately wanted that moment soon. If you like what you just heard, consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified about new videos. If there's a part you've missed, then check out the entire playlist on screen. If you like this story, please share it with your fellow anime lovers. Any support helps a lot. That's all for now. This is Ninja Kai, disappearing in a golden flash.